I'll put in a scratch opening right now, anyways, and
And
then
we're live. Okay, yeah. Put in a scratch opening, and then
Okay, hold up.
we'll try this new way of doing things here. It has so many meanings.
It sure does.
It's like
tuberculosis.
As a public school teacher, we have to get those fairly often.
What, titer tests?
Yeah, TB tests. Come in, prick your arm. Let's see here. Tonight we're discussing. Okay.
So if you were found to be exposed to TB but not have active TB, can you not be a teacher?
I don't know. You know, that's above my pay grade.
I'm just, hey, you're the king of all mind media. You're supposed to know this shit.
Yeah, not when I'm trying to type at the same time. Leave me alone.
Okay.
fucking Colorado, man. So it snowed 2 days ago.
Right.
Snowed for like 48 hours. And then today it was like 60 something. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be 28.
Right.
Fucking spring in Colorado, man.
Yeah, I'm going to go down looking for snakes tomorrow.
Are you?
Yeah, it's going to be 70 degrees here.
Cool. I think it's supposed to snow here again tomorrow. So it's always fun to look at the app like the day before. And it says tomorrow it's going to be 32 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. Today it's going to be 28 degrees colder than it was yesterday.
Right.
All right.
It did snow. When did it snow? Monday? Yeah, it snowed Monday. It was miserable here. We had about a half an inch of accumulation on lawns and stuff, but nothing on the streets.
Yeah, we had it on the streets, but it melted off pretty quick. All right, so we're live in the tubes. I am recording. I don't give a shit how well it's recording. Looks like it's a little low for me. Fuck it, I don't care. That's what post is for, right?
There you go. Take my burps out, all that stuff.
The cereal?
All right, actually, say that again, Jeff. You coming in pretty hot.
The cereal?
And John, give me the cereal test too.
The cereal?
Yeah, all right. You guys are a
little... You got to hit that. The cereal. Do the love you.
MSN.
Because you're beautiful.
Oh my God.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Shandan.
Cabin fever is a very, very real thing.
We're not live yet.
Hey, Jeff McKinney.
Hi, Jeff McKinney. Thank you, Chelsea.
I was gonna say, don't forget about me. I'm here, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Hi, Chelsea.
Yeah. Hi, Joe. Hi, Cody. Hi, Kristen. Am I missing anybody? Any lurkers in there?
There's always some lurkers.
Chelsea, what's in those beer kegs that are at your house?
Yeah, and how do I get
what the hyper local beer?
And how do I get some?
Exactly.
All right. Oh shit! This beer's still good tonight.
I'm on the beer number 2. It is Guinness. It is a light beer.
That's true. What am I rocking here? 6.5 stout. Okay. You guys all
that's
anything,
Guinness is what 4.8. Yeah,
something like that. Anything to talk about before we go, guys?
Hold up. Somehow. Here, just give me a second.
can you pull up?
Okay.
Can you pull up Van Halen?
Can I pull up Van Halen?
Yeah.
Dude, Eddie couldn't even pull up Van Halen out of the ashes.
Oh.
The most overrated band of all time. They're
I don't know about.
so bad. Oh yeah, Van Halen, dude. Eddie Van Halen, he's the best. And like, anyways, like the way people talk about them and the way that they talk about Eddie Van Halen, it's like you're thinking it's going to be this amazing, like guitar-driven rock, and then you turn it on and it's like it's just all synth. It's bullshit. It's Christina Aguilera. It's essentially the same thing.
1984.
By the way, Christina, much more talent. I apologize.
Hey, ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by. I'm your ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by. I got all the flavors and guaranteed to satisfy.
I did like
I'm your ice cream man. We're waiting here.
It was more like a David Lee Roth solo, but when he did Just a Gigolo.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was good. That was who is the original guy? I'm gonna kick myself for this. I should know this.
The original guy for what?
Gigolo?
No, the original Just a Gigolo was fuck, they're gonna kill me in the chat. Who originally did Just a Gigolo? Come on.
I'm just a gigolo, and everywhere we go, people know the song I'm
playing. Every day, sunny's romance.
I'm sorry.
Oh, what they're saying. Yeah, we're coming in. We're passing away. Shut up.
This is what you get. We showed up early for this.
All right. Okay, we good? Do you got all the singings out?
Yeah, it's like showing up for warm up at a hockey game. All the pucks hit the glass, right?
My dad's watching live. He said Louis Prima. Thanks, Marcello. I was gonna say that it just didn't sound right. You know what I was starting to think? Lou Bega, which is the guy who did Mambo No. 5, right? Which is a little different.
Who was it?
Louis Prima.
You mean Louis Prima?
No, how dare you? That's just condescending.
All right.
Chelsea thinks David Lee Roth wrote that. So how dare you? Chelsea, get the fuck out of here.
Don't get the fuck out of here. You stay, Chelsea. Jeff
GTFO or something.
All right.
SMH.
Alexa, play the podcast We Like Drinking.
I love that show.
Yeah, it's pretty great, isn't it?
Do you think John will tell another story?
I don't know, but could we get to it?
Someone needs some smoked whale testicles.
Alexa, just play the show.
Getting the latest episode of We Like Drinking. Here it is in all its glory.
At the sound of the tone, the official We Like Drinking time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
This week on episode 274 of the We Like Drinking podcast, we'll be discussing how craft beer may not be doing as great as you think it is right now, more COVID life hacks, and move over, Mr. Ice Cream Man, because the beer truck is coming to town. So let's crack open that beer, uncork that wine, and let's get drinking! All right, folks. We're on day 702 of being stuck in the houses. We've got a lot of alcohol. We're with our friends. We're ready to go. So let's do this. And say cheers, my podcast drinking friends, and welcome to Happy Hour 274 of your favorite award-winning topical beer and wine education podcast focusing on fun. Fun, we like to do it. And make sure you never miss another episode of our brand of drinking humor by visiting welikeDrinking.com/subscribe. Subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, how you doing this evening?
Fine.
You know, I made some delicious roasted Brussels sprouts and broccoli, tossing olive oil, salt and pepper, and a little tahine. And I also had, Wednesday night is frozen pizza night. The broccoli and Brussels sprouts were so good, the pizza had to wait. And now I'm full because I still had to eat all the pizza.
Yeah. I mean, that'll be right.
You just put the perfect char on that broccoli, so it's just.
Oh my God, so good! Like the tips need to look like burnt matchsticks, and then
a good brown on the Brussels sprouts. Did you cut the Brussels sprouts in half, or did you?
Yeah, these Brussels sprouts I have them, and really it was just because I didn't have a whole lot of time. They were big enough that you could have quartered them. What I would have done in that situation though is afterwards I probably would have tossed all the Brussels sprouts as like a salad with like some pistachios or something like that. Like it would have been.
I've done that. The Brussels sprouts, if you put them all face down like that.
Yeah.
And then you can toss them in a little mixture of balsamic and honey.
You heard it here first. Jeff Solomon enjoys tossing salads.
I don't understand.
I'm out.
Why are you laughing? What's wrong with tossing salads? I don't get. Guys,
well,
I feel like it was
pull
so
up the
weird.
Urban
Like
Dictionary, Sullivan.
he said, Jeff enjoys tossing salads. It's like, of course I do. I don't understand why it's funny, but who doesn't like to just dive into a big, bowl of freshly tossed salad? I don't get it.
Well, we'll talk about it after the show.
Jeff's like freaking out over here. He can barely talk. He's having convulsions.
All right. So you've heard us all talking, but let's find out who we're drinking with tonight. We have our usual cast members. We have our California Sustainable Wine Growing Ambassador and salad tosser, Jeff Solomon.
I prefer syrup.
We have our commercial brewer and snake wrangler, John Ruyak.
I find myself here, yes.
I am your host and certified specialist of wine, Jeff Eccles. All right, gentlemen, no guests tonight. That means we get to have a little bit more fun with what we're drinking. So let's get into it. Jeff Solomon, let's start with you tonight.
Yeah, I feel like something crazy is going to happen later because this is the single last beer in my house right now. It's a delicious can of Revision Brewing's Revision Reimagined IPA. Revision is out of Sparks, Nevada, and for those that don't know, that's the sister city right next door to Reno, Nevada. Beautiful city, beautiful beer, available at a lot of the finer establishments. At least in Northern California, we get a lot of Revision over here, and it's great. But this is about halfway empty, and I didn't think too far in the future. So it's very possible that I may be pulling a John Ruyak during the show and getting up randomly to get something else later on. However, we do broadcast live every Wednesday night at WeLikeDrinking.com/show. And what I would ask those of you watching right now is, go ahead and type in what you would like me to drink next, and if it's available, and if I am so inspired, maybe that's what we'll do. And through the magic of editing, it will be like I have never left when I do leave. You'll never know unless you watch live every Wednesday at welikedrinking.com/show.
He's not the best pitch man in the business for nothing. John Ruyak, what you got?
I'm gonna go, hyper local after this. I need to walk the walk that I try to when I talk all that talks. But I did see, for some reason, Smith's had a 4-pack of Guinness Draft on sale for $3.99. So yeah, why not? I needed a can for my chili anyway, which I made 2 days ago, and no, I made it yesterday. Yeah. I mean,
they all run together. I mean, this is April 412th, right?
No, I'm okay with days. I have no idea what the date is. Anyway, so I'm drinking Guinness Draft, widgets, and I'm about to pour number 2 here.
Nice.
John, I don't know if you know this. You're not supposed to drink the widgets.
Well, they're very chewy and they're really tough to get out of the can anyway. And they take up too much room. This should be a 16 ounce and now it's only 14.9. So I think maybe I want my back.
May as well. Right, Guinness. I'm sure that'll work out well.
I've got a problem with you, Guinness.
I am sticking with the local theme during the COVID lockdown. I am going with Goat Patch Brewing here in Colorado Springs. This is just their stout, 6.5 ABV. Got this filled up today along with a couple other crowlers. It's a mighty fine stout, John Ruyak. I like it better than Guinness, I think.
Do you?
Their stout is a mighty, mighty, mighty fine stout.
I will say, Guinness is a it's a premier food product on a planet, not just
for sure,
not just a beer, but it just its history, what it does, the whole history of distribution and production for Guinness since its inception and around the world. It have established different breweries at different times, and they have different recipes for different areas of the world. They have a tropical stout that they only release in certain places and things like that. But I'll agree with you. Sometimes it seems like it's a little too dry. Like sometimes it feels like it's not enough going on in it.
Yeah, it's an incredible stout. This one just has, like you said, a little bit more going on. There's a lot more coffee notes kind of coming through on this. So there's a little bit of that toffee coming through. There's a little bit more pizzazz to it, where Guinness is right down the middle, same every time.
Well, yeah, it's like I don't want to get the Budweiser stouts.
No.
I mean, they were Budweiser before Budweiser was Budweiser. From a consistency of product standpoint, I mean, shoot, statistics almost exclusively came out of the Guinness brewery. I mean, I forget the guy's name, but the dude basically invented statistics.
Nice. Know that. Hold on 1 second, John. Anybody in the chat saying what they're drinking, or are they just insulting us?
It's a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of beers. I'm seeing a lot of suggestions. Meth says sorry, we all call him Meth. Methyl ethyl says I should drink bourbon. Kristen says I should be drinking red wine. The rest of them are just, they're all trying to schmooze each other. I think Jason Stubblefield's watching. He's trying to get people to use his code to order Blue Apron, which is interesting. Not the venue, bro. Not the venue.
I thought he was going to be pushing some of his. He's a brand ambassador,
This is true.
So, John, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, I mean, I would rather be drinking the oatmeal stout if I was going to drink a stout that I brew. I just think there's a little bit more to it. It's an oatmeal stout. but I brew it. It's a very good stout. It's a very, very fine stout. Anyway, I would have gone out today but I just didn't want to leave the house today. I didn't feel like going back to the brewery and pouring a growler. I'm lazy.
All right. I mean, it happens these days. It's been known to happen. But okay, well, and plus
I'll drink this third one from this 4-pack that I've it's gone, and then I'll make up for tomorrow. I'll just go into work and drink a couple of cuss.
Okay, that will go well.
Then I'll take a nap.
Yeah, okay.
In the brewery, and then I'll drive home.
All right, and
that's nice. Naps are cool.
You have to prepare yourself on Wednesdays. You can't run too hard all day because you got to gear up for the show, and you have to get your mind ready for
wine, beer, spirit, or pop culture reference. All right, all you yahoos, you know the drill. I'm going to give these guys here a term, and they're going to try to guess if it's one of those categories. So this week's term is Motspur. Motspur. So, let me spin the wheel. Oh, $1. Oh, wrong show. Solomon, what'd you think?
Can you spell that, please?
Motspur. Motspur.
Motspur. If you'd spelled it a little bit differently, like with an A and a Z, I would have thought it had something to do with Passover. Shalom to my Hebrews and Shebrews out there. I hope you found the Afikomen, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you found the Afikomen. But with this spelling, Motspur, I don't know why there's this thing like with the spur in there. At the end, it's making me think like single malt scotch, and I can't get that out of my head when I see like a spur in there. So I'm just gonna throw that out there and say that this is I'm even gonna say it's a house. It's a Scotch house that produces only the finest single malt scotches. Motspur.
Okay, so is that Islay, Lowlands, Highlands, or Skye?
As Fred Durst once said, Islay or the highway.
Okay,
sorry.
So it's an Islay Scotch. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Eccles.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was the same kind of process as Solomon had. Like I heard it and it was immediate. I was like, that's a beer term. That's a hop. That's some European hop that isn't used very much in American beers or something along those lines. I don't know. That's just immediately where my head went. And I don't really want to think a lot tonight. So I'm just going to stick with it.
Or it could be when your feline smells like apple juice. Motspur.
Do any of our listeners, watchers have a guess at Motspur?
Yeah. So Jason Stubblefield says that it's a pop culture, that je ne sais quoi that Justin Timberlake has. And I feel you. He's sexy.
Oh, we got all kinds of Methyl says it's a wine term. Kristen says it's a pop culture reference. It's a Passover recipe for matzah. Yeah, okay.
All right. So the answer is it is a pop culture reference. Motspur. Thank you to Rich Hall and not necessarily the news from way back in the 80s. And it is in the Urban Dictionary. A Motspur, and it's very apropos these days, is that pesky fourth wheel on shopping carts that just doesn't go in the right direction.
And the term is
Motspur.
If
So
we're-
I
if-
used
if
to
we're going
watch that
there-
all the time.
If we're going there next week, the term is going to be Fonzanoon.
No, my second favorite term from not necessarily news, and this is a segment called Sniglets. So I think that was the genesis of the Urban Dictionary, was Sniglets on HBO. But my second favorite one was Vilexia. And that's the uncontrollable urge to moo when you pass a cow in the countryside when you're going by. Bovilexia.
we all know that one well. We've all experienced that one several times.
I tell you what. So I've got a story, and it's very short. I swear to God, it's short. So
Bo,
my son Ryan
Bo-
and I
bo,
are driving around eastern Colorado. Right.
Hold on.
Wait.
Just
What?
a moment. Cue it up.
Bo, Bodie Bo. John Ruyak's got a story.
And it's about Bovilexia, of course. So my son Ryan and I are driving around eastern Colorado, and we go down this road, and there's all these cows in the corner of this ranch. And we're driving around looking for snakes. We're not really having a very good day. But there's 40 cows. There's 40 cows in the corner ranch. And Ryan leans out and goes, moo. Swear to God, a couple of them looked. We're looking around to see where that came. Yeah. I guess you had to be there. It was pretty
That
funny.
went over just as well as your Costa Rican cow story.
I have a thing for cow stories.
And then there were these cows. You got to have that self edit. If I'm telling a story about cows, is it really worth it?
And the punchline is a bunch of cows looked.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Maybe table that one for
All right.
Save that for
I
open.
had a soul story. It's mercifully short.
Save that one for open mic night. See how it works.
Save that one for we like mooing. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Andy Kaufman of the We Like Drinking podcast.
If you are hoping for some structure on tonight's show,
Really?
sorry. Not
Oh.
but let's get to what I guess what this is going to be tonight. The hard hitting booze news. We discuss interesting, noteworthy, or 99% of the time, some pretty silly things. So let's start with let's go with John Ruyak first.
Okay, real quick. We've all been talking about how we've been drinking more, and everybody says they're drinking more, and New Mexico shut down liquor stores, and Pennsylvania shut down liquor stores, and everybody's drinking so much and all this other stuff. But the story out of the San Francisco Chronicle is that even though there's all these stories about people being inside and drinking, craft brewery sales are down 43% in the state of California. And you may think you are supporting those people, and we're open 2 days a week, 3 days a week now at the tap room, and 1 day a week up in Texas. But just scratching by, paying some odds and ends with that money. But man, these beer places, craft brewers down 43%. If you're not buying draft beer, craft breweries can't make a go of it. So I don't want to tell everybody to drink twice as much to help them out, because that's not healthy. But it would be great if this well, I mean, it's real shit, but it's bullshit, be over so we can go back to doing our thing, There's a lot of people, there's seriously a lot of people going to lose their jobs. There's going to be massive amounts of brewery closures. If this goes 6-7 more weeks, I will permanently be out of a job as a brewer.
What did the Brewers Association say? What were their numbers?
I think it was close to 56%. I think they said were in, or was it 46%? 46% of breweries think they will not be able to make it to the end of June.
End of June. So that was an extended shutdown kind of time frame.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I mean, I think this makes a ton of sense. And we've talked about this, drinking is up because, we're able to get to the liquor store. We're able to get the wine. We're able to get the spirits. We're able to get whatever beers we want. But you have to make a very conscious effort to go get yourself some craft beer, some local craft beer. And I'm definitely doing that with pretty much any of the beer I drink nowadays. I'm really not drinking a lot of wine. I'm just drinking Colorado Springs beer. And I'm kind of mixing in with going to get crowlers, and sometimes I'm short on time. I just go to the liquor store and buy some canned of the local stuff. But I mean, it's a process to go do it, because you have to know when they're open. Do they take online orders? Can you walk up? It's kind of a process that you have to go through, but it's something I want to do to help out. And then even for them though, there's, they don't get 8 people coming in or 4 people coming in and hanging out for a couple hours. I mean, that's a big drop off that they're missing. So yeah, we keep hammering this home. Like, if you're out there, folks, like, support the local, as much local as you can. Restaurants, booze, all of it, as much as you can support local when you get out,
as long as you're still working yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You got to take care of yourself first.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it. A person walks in to a craft brewery like ours, and they sit down, and it's like, more often than not, that's either $10 or $15 in sales
per person, right?
Per person.
Mm-hmm.
Averages about, I think our average is 1.75 beers per visit per person. So that basically that's $10. That's $9, right? Well, a 6-pack at the grocery store costs $9 of craft beer. So think about what the brewery's not gaining, or the margin on a 6-pack of beer is just tiny. Brewery gets maybe $1.50 out of that, maybe.
Hey, so John, sorry, you had more to say. I'm sorry.
No.
I was hoping you could give us some perspective, because obviously, things might differ from one brewery to the next, but this is one story of many, and I'm just wondering, John, at Lizard Tail, have we stopped all brewing operations and it's just about selling what we have?
Yeah. I've mothballed the brewery. I mean, I took all the hot liquor tank is empty. I shut off all the gas. I've got 7 empty fermenters now out of 12. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and there's a good chance that the IPA and the double IPA I still have sitting in the fermentation room might have to get dumped. I mean, I brewed the double IPA, maybe not so much, but I brewed that March 9th. I haven't dry hopped it yet, because you can't sit it on dry hops for too long, or else it starts to taste vegetal. You actually taste green. You taste herby stuff. So, I mean, I might start brewing 2 weeks from now, because it looks like it'll be closed down through May 15th at this point.
So I feel like, as a consumer, please, like, the stuff that's in the tank that you're feeling like you might have to get rid of, like, even if it's like not like to snuff, I would imagine, with the right sales pitch, like, this is COVID. I'm sure COVID-19 in a can doesn't sound good, but something like that. Like some way of like demarking that, yes, this is totally different. And now this is a barley wine. You know what I mean? And keep it or not. But this is a souvenir. I don't know.
For small places, I mean, if it was all, if I could somehow get it all into kegs, I'd be happy. I mean, be like so happy to just get it all into kegs and just not brew until we knew we were about 3 weeks out. That would be cool, but once it's sealed in a keg and there's, the process is basically done, because adding or lowering the pH of your beer by carbonating it also helps to preserve it, because the lower the pH, the less likely, anything's going to spoil in there or anything like that. But, IPAs, they don't last a long time. They're not the blonde, the red, the stout, the porter. They all kind of get better with age, but the highly hopped beers, no. You need to drink them.
That's right.
Help us drink them. Come buy them so you can drink them responsibly at home.
Chelsea brought up a great point. Merch too. If you're picking up some, and I need to add this to my process. If you're picking up some crowlers, grab a T-shirt or two,
because that's dead weight. That's dead weight at a brewery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeff.
I'm off.
Yeah, I'm just like, whew. I'm just, it's all the feels over here. Like it really just, it does bum me out. And I think that everybody does need to go out of their way. It's obviously more convenient, and you're trying to limit how many times you're leaving the house and how many stops that you're making. But my God, if you're a listener of this show, if you love beer, if you love wine, if you love the fact that there's a thriving scene in your area, like now is the time for you to give back, because seriously, I don't think any one individual and their love of a certain brewery or a winery is what got them going to begin with. It was this whole community, but this is your time to go above and beyond, to do whatever you can to support those local places and make sure that make sure that they're getting what they can during that time. And even just, I don't know, just offering help. How else can I help? Like, seriously.
A baller when you're there. Tip the baller.
Oh, I go in and because I'm the general manager, I check, and some guys have been, they're normally in every day for 2 beers and they'll tip $3 or $4 on that ticket. But I saw someone jump a $13 ticket up to $50.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that was really nice for Tracy to get that tip, but not just wineries, distilleries, breweries. It's the craft food industry that's, cheeses, chocolates, bakeries, all these places that, it's all that stuff is so perishable that this, that kind of stuff is really, really hurting. So
food trucks.
Shit. Oh my God, the food trucks.
Like
and it's such a shame. And I know Mother Nature doesn't give AF, right? But all this hard work that the entire planet, Europe, United States, and Canada in particular, in developing this craft food atmosphere, which includes wine and beer, that makes life so rich, so interesting. The experiential stuff gastronomically is just, man, this is gonna be a long way back, folks. Help.
I was talking to a friend of ours, and we were talking about all, how much more we're drinking. I was talking to April Wachtel. That's who I was talking to.
Okay.
And she was like, well, that whole non-alc movement was on a upward trend, just cratered. I'm like, oh, yeah, the non-alc trend's gonna have a real tough time coming back from this one.
Hey, can I throw something else out there?
See if it sticks.
When you know that you are because seriously, and I'm gonna yell at some people for their interpretations of shelter in place a little bit later, but when you know that you have this pre-planned run that you're gonna do that might involve picking up some delicious craft beers, will you please just send out the feelers to every single one of your friends that lives as close as possible and get together like a PayPal Venmo situation? And will you just pick it up for your neighborhood and safely drop it off on your way home if you can, if that's possible? Because God, there is so much more that I think people can do. And I want us to all be, looking at this afterwards and knowing that all of the important stuff that we're doing right now is worth it. But it matters that you're supporting the folks around you as best you can, if you can.
That's a great idea, Jeff. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Anything else on that, guys?
Let's talk about the fun stuff now.
You want to move on to the fun stuff? All right, that was
some
fun.
stuff.
All right, let's lighten things up a little bit. I don't know how we're going to make this more than a 5-minute conversation, but knowing us, we can. Jeff Solomon.
Before we do that, we're going to do a little amazing editing right now because I'm out of beer in my can. Sorry, Jeff, I just ruined your night.
Let me make a note. 39:26. Okay, go for it. What are you doing?
I'm out of beer in my can. And I got Methyl Ethel, who said I should drink bourbon. I have Kristen, who said I should drink red wine. I know that Stub is currently drinking bourbon. And I have Cody, who said, get something that pairs well with a salad. I am going to run down the hall. I'm going to grab the perfect beverage. And after this wacky music plays, when I come back, you will see what I have gotten. And in the meantime, those of you watching live at WeLikeDrinking.com/show. Feel free to talk some shit. Bye, everybody. I'll be right back.
So do better, Solomon.
Do better. Okay. Since this isn't going out to anybody, does anybody else in the chat know why John and I were laughing so hard at Jeff Solomon talking about tossing salads? Just curious. Just take beer and tissue. Yeah, Chelsea was just talking about letting her do deliveries. FH Beer Works is doing deliveries now. They run up into so one of the local breweries here now, they've cordoned off the city into a bunch of sections, and we'll deliver to this section on Mondays, this section on Tuesdays, this section on so on and so on. 2 of the days come within 3 blocks of my house, but they don't quite reach it. I'm like, God damn! I'll go the half mile down the street to Target, wait in the parking lot if you'll just deliver me frickin' beer. They're like, well, you can order online and come and pick it up. I'm like, damn it!
So some people must know, but they're just too embarrassed to say.
Oh, what a toss salad is.
Yeah.
No. You don't have to actually say it. I'm just, well, fuck Stub. Of course, Stub knows what. Yes.
I was going to say, I'm surprised he hasn't chimed in.
Cody says yes. Christine. Okay. Hey, Christine Campbell. How are you? I'm glad to see you here. She has no idea. That doesn't surprise me.
It's better that you don't.
Yeah, it's better that you don't. Yeah. Chelsea said when a person loves another person very much. All right, I'm glad some of you knew what we were talking about. I can't wait for after the show to show that to Sal. Did we get through what Chelsea? What are you drinking tonight? Did we get there? What parking lot beer? Yeah,
Parking lot.
stuff, right? I'll do it. I can do it for him.
So last Friday we did a Zoom with my herpetology group, and I finished a beer and then we went long. So
Stub. Oh shit. Methyl Ethyl says he misses parking lot beers every Sunday after hockey.
yeah,
Miss those too, man.
yeah, I had to stop myself short, or else I wouldn't have anything to talk to Brent Elliott about.
Yeah, man. At least
Did
yours
you
held tight.
Did you have a problem too?
Yeah, I lost about 3/4 of my of the fucking 104 proof one.
The Select.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's such a shame because that shit is good.
Oh my god, it smells so good because my whole body smelled like it.
Oh, it is so. Yeah, my buddy and I, Bill, it came in the mail. Yeah, it came UPS to the brewery, and I met my buddy Bill at a trailhead in Albuquerque. We went up into the mountains and found a rattlesnake den, and neither one of us had found one in this area before. So we got back to the car and knocked back half of that.
You better have saved
one. I just enough for the show.
Laura offered to send us new samples. I told her we've got enough to get through the show, and I don't want her to have to send more product to us.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm going to grab.
But if she's willing to do that,
I just want to show it.
I just want to send it to me.
Oh, you're talking about Wait, did he run away?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Are you talking about the Four Roses?
Yeah. Look at this. Stuff.
Did yours bust open too? Yeah. Oh yeah.
I got a little leakage going on.
It just leaked on the Select, right?
Yeah, on the Select.
Mine's like halfway full.
And that's a shame because it's awfully good.
Yeah, I lost all that. So yeah, they were aware of it. They found out about it. So because I was worried they're going to send out more.
Oh, okay.
So 2 weeks, people that are still watching the show, we're going to have a Four Roses night on the show with their head distiller, I think, Brent Elliott.
Nice.
Yeah, so that should be a fun one. All right. So are we ready to go back to you, Solomon?
Yeah.
What's the time?
45:44. I never wrote down what it was.
39, 36.
You just, whenever you're ready, go silent and point at me.
43, and we'll just call it 45. Oh, 46.
Oh, I'm back. And so I was thinking bourbon, salad. And when I think of salad, I think of like something more herbaceous, and there's some delicious bourbons out there. But as soon as you throw salad into the mix, I start thinking about gin. And so here's something that covers all bases. This is the New Riff Kentucky Wild Gin, which is bourbon barreled. I've been loving this stuff, and you can see that I'm about almost 2/3 of the way done with this bottle since we got these samples a couple months ago. And what I did was I made a martini, dry martini, over some local Gilroy garlic stuffed olives. I was thinking about, I know Kristen was saying red wine. I was thinking about pouring this into a red wine glass, but then it's going to get really dangerous when the olives start falling on your face. So yeah, here we go. Fucking delicious. Like a salad, like a bourbon salad.
All right. So now you have your bourbon, Jeff Solomon, and you almost killed me. What news story did you want to talk about?
Oh, hey, is this still a tossing salad thing? Is that still funny to you? Okay. So, this is one of those things where it's much more headline than anything else, but by the headlines, you see that a Colorado brewery is driving around and selling beer like the ice cream truck. And I got to say, when this was first shared to me by my beautiful wife, as opposed to the other one who's a little, but my beautiful, she sent me this article. And I have to say, I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then I read it, and they're not driving around like the ice cream man, parking in a corner, telling everybody, hey, come out and buy some beer. They're doing what a lot of breweries are doing, like what Promised Land is doing in Gilroy. This was a very quick snippet of an article about Sanitas Brewing in Boulder, Colorado, who is also doing deliveries. You're making orders online. They're driving it up to your house. Maybe they're playing music along the way. But I just wanted to kind of check in with y'all. Are you seeing more and more breweries delivering to your house? And if not, are you screaming to the heavens, why aren't you bringing it to my house? And by the way, John,
Yes.
you need to get some volunteers to start driving your beer to other people's houses. Let's make this happen.
The whole neighborhood thing that you talked about before is a good idea. So I think we're going to talk about that. I've written that down. We're going to talk about that tomorrow at work. Just because we know of a number of different people that live in different neighborhoods that could help deliver to other people that we know live in those neighborhoods instead of having them come out. So, I mean, we know that our customers that well. So
I wonder if there are any states or any like legitimately breweries that are just driving around and like pulling over. Like I remember a while back we were thinking about a brewery that started like basically as a food truck that would park somewhere and do sales that way. I wonder if there are breweries that are starting to go out and do that if they're able to do.
That's my big question on it. When I read that article, I'm like, is that legal? Like, is that legal? Maybe in today's, maybe they've relaxed the rules to make that a possibility. But I mean, it would be amazing if two trucks were driving up the street playing the same song, and one was selling ice cream and one was selling beer, so that the kids and the parents were all fighting to get out to the truck. That would be amazing. I really question the legality of doing that with alcohol, though.
Yeah. See, here's that kind of, we might have talked about this before, like 200 episodes ago, but I had an idea a long time ago about putting a brewery on the inside of like a big truck, not a semi, but those 24-footer like moving vans, two guys in a truck.
Yeah. Okay.
And you could drive around like for a couple of weeks and just stop in a little podunk town that might have like a semi like vacation vibe to it, but it's not really big enough for have a brewery, but just stop there for a couple of weeks and brew beer for a couple of weeks and then move to the next one and then move to the next one and then move to the next one. But there's some significant legalities to that.
Yeah.
And I know breweries here in town that will come to your event, and they'll pull up a van and they'll pull out some 5 gallons and they'll set up some taps and they'll serve beer to it, but there's no money changing hands. And I think that's where the real questionable part comes in is, can you have a roving liquor license where you're selling alcohol at different locations throughout a city? And that seems really sketchy to me, that you could pull something like that off.
Or like doing like crowler or growler fills like on the spot. I'd imagine that can get pretty messy and gnarly. You know what I'm hoping for is that somewhere out there, I just envision Stone Cold Steve Austin has like hijacked a beer truck and he's driving down one street, hosing down all the houses with beer, like he did in WrestleMania.
Nice. Now we do have, as far as I can only think of one brewery here in town that's delivering. I was telling him when you went through that millisecond trip to go get your drink, Jeff Sullivan, I was
very quick. I shook a martini.
I was telling that there's a brewery here in town that's delivering on certain days a week to certain areas of the city, and they come about 3 blocks short of me from the south on one day and about 3 blocks short of me to the west on one day. So they won't deliver to my house, and it's so close. It's heartbreaking to me. So I can't get any to my house.
So why can't you just change your address?
Right. I was going to say, I'll meet you in the Target parking lot. And so what I really need is, I need
or the traffic circle. Come on, you can just do the traffic, just the roundabout.
Well, the roundabout, and then I can start running. You can just hand it off to me and never stop. John, do you know of breweries in town that are delivering?
I don't know of any breweries here in Albuquerque that are actually delivering.
And Jeff, you just have the one, or do you have multiple?
I just have the one in Gilroy. I'm not sure whether or not like the other like quasi local brewery to me is in Morgan Hill, and they might be having their own thing going, but Promised Land, it's like essentially you better have a Gilroy address, just to kind of make things easier. I think it must be just one guy in his van. Like they like everything gets processed the night before, and then they spend the next day driving.
Yep. Yep. And it sounds like the people that are doing it here, it's like their servers, their bartenders are doing it, so it's just another way to try to keep people semi-employed through all, it's all this just like limp till we can get to the finish line. So check it, that's another thing you can do in your local area is check and see if anybody's delivering. All right. Anything else on the beer truck delivery van?
I just need to say randomly, and I don't know the context of this because I pretty much pay attention to myself more than anything else, but I see that our friend Jason Stubblefield just did hashtag cash me outside.
Oh
man.
That was okay. All right. So it's been a while since we've done some teaching on the show, and Jeff Solomon's really down for COVID life hacks. So part 2, Jeff Solomon, what do you got for us?
Life hacks. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm trying as best I can, and I think it's important as best we can during times like these, like and you see if you're friends with me outside of this, I think a lot of y'all know my spiel that like we have to give people the benefit of the doubt. We have to be as kind as we can to each other because we're all going through some form of grief right now with everything that's going on. And so we have to give people the benefit of the doubt. We just have to go out of our way to be nice to each other. But, and so I hope we're taking this with the right way. This is not me necessarily telling you what to do because I can't come and force you to do anything. This is me venting more than anything else. And I just have to say that some of y'all, this might be labeled explicit, and I apologize to the Apple Podcast algorithm, but some of y'all motherfuckers don't understand what shelter in place means. Do not leave your house except for essential activities. And yes, that means going to get groceries. And yes, that means going to get food already made, curbside service, going to pick up, dude, your beer or your weed. Legitimately, these are all essential services. You go ahead and do that. But also, fucking don't be an idiot, dude. Like, wear a mask when you go outside. And this is not to protect you. So quit thinking like, oh, I'm not going to get it. It's not about you. It's to protect everybody else. Wear a fucking mask when you're going out to do these things. Respect people's personal spaces. And look, yes, going outside to exercise is an essential activity. Going for a walk with your kids is essential. But what's not essential, motherfucker, is for you to hold a private workout lesson by hopping a fence and going to a fucking football field at a high school that's closed. I see you, motherfuckers. I see you doing that. That is not essential. It's not essential for you and your friends to all get curbside pickup together and then hang out in a parking lot. Yes, going out for a hike, essential. Go to your local trail, your closest trail, but also respect that there's going to be other people out there and avoid each other and cover the fuck up. But then also, don't go drive 3 hours to do that one hike that you've been waiting to do. Don't go drive over and bother my beautiful friends in Santa Cruz County and Monterey County and think that this is a fucking beach day. I'm tired of seeing people's pictures of picnics on the beach. Dude, don't fucking go there. And for everybody that's getting pissed off, like, man, I went to Santa Cruz and I got $1,000 ticket for going there. Yeah, go the fuck home. You deserve that for being an idiot, right? I know you're getting stir crazy. This is tough for all of us, but don't be a fucking idiot because you're going to draw this shit out. And even more than that, people are going to die because of your dumb decisions. Stop rationalizing that shit. You do not need to be there. Go the fuck home. Go home.
Hashtag go home.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. I get it.
I feel like this is a safe space, and I feel like everybody out there, like, please understand, like, I do this not to focus in on anybody, right? And I do this not to, like, here's this other thing. It's like, everybody who's trying to walk on the edge of what the laws are, like, you're kind of fucking shit up too, dude. Like, the spirit of what this is about the science of what it's all about and actually literally like flattening a curve, right? And I'm sorry, like, even like where I am, and like I feel like the Bay Area generally has been doing a good job considering like how hard we got hit initially, trying to level shit out. But people who are also kind of easing up and being like, well, at this point I'm fine. No, fuck you guys. Stay the fuck home. Quit rationalizing that shit. Do what needs to be done. This is finally your chance, right? Because I swear to you, like, there are very few moments in life where people have an opportunity to step up, right? And this is where, God, I'm even going to talk about, those who have served our country so admirably. Like, thank you so much. I could never be that fucking brave, but I could be brave enough to stay home to save somebody's life. Like, stay home. Stay the fuck home. Stay home.
Thank you, Stub. We know you're watching. Yes, Jeff Solomon. I wholeheartedly agree. I was doing my run today. I was like, okay, and I kind of mapped out where I was going. I had like 4 places that I needed to go hit. It's weird that all 4 were alcohol related, but yeah, that's how shit goes when you run a 2-time award-winning alcohol podcast. But I was going from stop 3 to stop 4, and I took kind of a side road. And as I was going past the baseball diamonds and everything else, I saw a skate park. 6 kids out on the skate park.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, for the most part, they were practicing good social distancing, but there was still 6 of them out on the skate park. As I come around the corner, there's a BMX track. 8 kids on BMX bike riding out on the track. And they were not. They were all just sitting on top of a hill, just chatting away. I was like, look, you're not the fucking Brady Bunch. You know, you're not all the same family. I know, and I know it's tough for kids right now. I mean, it's tough for adults, but I know it's so hard for kids that, you know, their friends are just down the street, and it's like, no, man, you can't go hang out on the trampoline. No, you can't. You get to play a crap ton more Fortnite nowadays, so you can have that time talking to your friends. Like, take advantage of it, and for the adults as well. You know, you said it so well. Like, people are rationalizing so much that they do that you just know isn't right. And the kicker of it is that we've done a lot of good in flattening that curve and keeping people healthy and safe. And when it's over and done with, the reward for us doing well is that is that some of the population is going to scream at us that we overreacted to all of this. And because of the numbers, we overreacted, when the reality is the numbers are so low because of what we're doing. And I know there's there's so many fucking people that are struggling to survive this. And it's tough to get the government help and everything else. And, you know, I put it in our tavern. Like, if you are struggling to put food on your table, Jeff at WeLikeDrinking.com, email me and I will figure out a way to help you in some way. I don't know how much I can do or we can do as We Like Drinking, but we will do something to help you. If you are struggling to put food on your table, get a hold of us if you have no other options. We will find a way to help. I have had multiple friends of the show that have reached out since I posted that, said, count me in. If you find anybody that needs help, count me in. So we have people willing to help. If you need help, email me. We will help you in some way.
Yes, definitely. And I will even, I'm known as the one-upper here, and here I go. Like, literally, and I know this is really tough for the grandparents that are out there, that have an empty nest and they're itching to see their family. And I feel like maybe we've all had opportunities to like yell at some older folks in our lives and just be like, I wish, but we can't. And like, here's the thing. If you're tired of repeating the same thing to grandma and grandpa and you need somebody else to just yell at them, like, I will gladly give me their number. I will call them and I will tell them why they need to stay the fuck home. Stay home.
All right, John, anything to add?
Nah.
Perfect.
Also, I love you guys. I love you all. Every single one of you. But stay the fuck home. And believe me, you don't think I want to go to the skate park? Man, I really am glad
There's
that
a
my
pebble
county
out there
just
with your name on it.
my county just closed it all down. And so you know what I do? I find a way. I take it to the streets, man, because that's what it's really all about, anyways.
Where there's
Oh, a
another
park.
there's another pebble with your name on it.
Go to a park where it's legal. Well, fuck you guys. Go skate the streets.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that, guys. Good discussion. We do have kind of a question this week, so we're going to throw in this bit. I know it's normally wait, who subscribed, but fuck off.
Nobody remembers that.
It's Ask the Panel, where you get to ask us a question about wine or beer. John, this is roundabout towards you, so why don't you take it?
So I posted that Tavenger hunt thingamajig question the other day. Show us your booze inventory. And Alexandra got back to us. She got this huge shipment of wine, and I was immediately jealous, or not jealous, envious. But she asked me, and I'll ask you guys, because I asked her how she was going to pick the first one that she was going to have out of that line of 18 bottles that she got. But she asked, do you pair the wine with the dinner or the dinner with the wine?
Great question.
Wow.
And take that one, Jeff. Monitor the chat. I want to hear what people have to say about that. Jeff, do you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, because then I'll be able to. I can't read and talk at the same time. Sorry. Actually, I can't read in general. I never learned how to read. So yeah, I love the way that this is put, and I almost go back a little ways to when I first really started getting into wine, and I remember striking up a conversation with somebody at a tasting room. The person who was pouring for us, and he was saying that you should never be saving the wine for an occasion. You should let the wine be the occasion, right? Yep. And I think that we can take this same idea and bring it up in terms of food. My feeling is, if you've got this baller ass bottle of wine that you're saving for the perfect time, I have to say that there are times where I feel like, for the vast majority of wines, we're kind of doing it the wrong way. Because if your thing is like, oh, I've got this awesome wine that I've just been waiting to drink, and tonight is going to be the night, and I am going to make the perfect meal to fit this wine, my feeling is that you may be setting yourself up for disappointment, in the sense that a lot of times these are wines that you've been holding on to for a long time. There are wines that have been changing over the course of the years. So you may have tasted this in a tasting room or had a glass at dinner, and then you bought a case. But it's 5-10 years later, and you're starting to open some of these up. They are going to taste differently. They're also, even if the wine did not change in the glass, if it's been 5 or 10 years between times that you've tasted something, the way that you remember it tasting and the way that it actually tastes are probably going to be two different things. And you might find that things are just off. I think what I think is so lovely about wine is that as we treat it more like food, we might be looking at ourselves and we might be saying, like, okay, here's this protein that I have, here's this veg that I have, here's this these carbs that I have. Let me put all this together and let me figure out what goes well. I'm tasting along the way, and I'm saying to myself, here's this salad that I'm tossing. What wine do I have that I think would go well with that, right? And then so you go over to your rack and you pull out a bottle. Maybe you pull out a couple, right? And maybe along the way, as you're tasting as you go with that salad that you're tossing, you are also opening up bottles and tasting those along the way. And then you get to that point where you go, yeah, this right here, this is fucking magical, and you share it with the folks that are around you. I really feel like we have to view the dinner as a whole and figure out and play along the way with how wine is gonna fit this particular meal, right?
Yeah, I like that, John.
So what you're saying is you're actually treating that like a condiment or a spice or a seasoning to the meal, because
even a side dish, I'd say it's more of a side, right?
Well, sure, but what I'm saying is you're preparing something, and you're going, this tastes good. So instead of going to your spice rack, your spice cabinet, and saying it needs a little bit more of this, I'm going to my wine collection, and I'm going to grab something out of that in order to complement that. So I know there's numerous people that listen to our show and are part of the tavern that have extensive wine collections that may reach 3 figures. Most of us, most of you, maybe 30, 40 bottles, maybe 50 or 60. But there's a lot of people that will have, we've got 14 or 15 bottles of wine in the house right now, right? So, and I know which ones I really want to drink. So I think to your credit, Jeff, I agree with you. But for the other folks, if you taste a wine and you've had it at a tasting room and you buy a bottle and you take it home and you want to create something, if you have a smaller inventory, a smaller library, I would create a dinner around a wine instead, rather than having that sixth sense about what's going on in your collection. If you have a bottle,
Yeah. Okay.
then I would go and create that dinner to complement that bottle.
Yeah. And I know what Eccles is about to say, so I just want to say it first. Just drink what you like.
No, you know what I want to kind of play off what both of you said, and really it comes down to desire. And it's
I really, no, I'm not going to say it. I'll leave that for Solomon.
It's really, it can go both ways.
Where's your notepad with the double entendre?
So there's times where you're really craving a certain type of food, and there's times where you're like, oh shit, I've got this Sangiovese I'm just dying to have. And then so you build from that desire. So if you're craving, a thick steak with potatoes and mushrooms, then make that, feed your craving, and then pair the wine with it. Or if you're like, man, I've got this Barolo that is just calling me out, then say, okay, I'm going to open this Barolo, and then you can build a menu around that wine. So really, yes, it's kind of a drink and eat what you like idea, Jeff Solomon. But it's really go with your heart and then build around that. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no,
not at all. So I got it. Yeah. No. Thanks. I laid my heart out. You guys should.
I'm just really passionate about. I do whatever.
Fuck you, Jeff Solomon. All right.
You got a wine to pair with that?
It's always funny. It's very rare that we come into an episode and we're like, man, I don't know if we're going to be able to fill the whole hour tonight.
Yeah.
I'm usually doing that a little bit more. But we've talked about everything in the show notes. So it's the time of the show where we get to call
Last call.
Last call.
Last call. Time to clean house and lock the doors. Stubbs calling for an after party, by the way, guys. So
I do have another can of beer. We could do that.
time to clean house and lock the doors, where you get to help us out a little bit of the show. Jeff Solomon, if the folks want to follow us on the social media platforms to see how rarely we post anything, where can they do so?
Hey, you're not going to see us posting on Instagram or Facebook by searching We Like Drinking. We definitely do not interact on Twitter as We Like Drinking 1. That's the numeral 1. Where you might be more likely to find us is our private Facebook group known as The Tavern, affectionately. So if you're on Facebook, just search groups, search for We Like Drinking, The Tavern. I think there's a colon in there somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is. Somebody exposed the colon. It's somewhere. But another way to get there,
they toss the salad.
another way to get there is just go to welikedrinking.com/tavern and get in on that Tavenger hunt, y'all.
The Tavenger hunt has been a blast. Thank you, everybody that has participated in that. You guys are making my week multiple times a week with that. John Ruyak, if the pokes have some thoughts on the show, where can they go to weave those?
You know what? Look us up on Apple Podcasts and really go back to your creative writing class notes from high school or college or wherever and pull out a thesaurus and give us all the good words you can think of and all the variations of a good word you can think of and lead a big fat 5-star review for us.
I think what he's saying is everybody who left a review so far, it's fucking lackluster. Step up your game.
No, yeah, well,
get a thesaurus.
Maybe I did say that.
And if you've done all that, we would so appreciate if you wanted to become an Uber supporter of the show. Like a lot of the people viewing the show live tonight are. Become a patron of the show by visiting welikedrinking.com/pledge, where you can find out how to become part of our ultra tight knit group of supporters. A lot of the people listening to the show, we had a one-upper this week. We had Alexandra came out and she upped her pledge amount to the show for this month to help us out a little bit more. So
nice.
So we're just asking you to be one of the cool kids.
One of the cool kids. So you all kinds of really cool stuff that you can get there. Access to us. I have to throw a huge apology out to everybody. I don't know how it slipped my mind, but Sunday Coffee with Jeff did not happen this week. I just forgot it because
it was Easter.
And honestly, 6 out of 7 days of the week, I don't know what fucking day it is anymore. Like I don't know anymore. They've all run together. There's no delineation on what days are anymore. They're just devoid of meaning. So
sun comes up, sun goes down.
And repeat indefinitely, except for Wednesdays. It's my only day to live. All right. You could also find the show notes for this episode with all the drinks and the stories or mentions we had at welikedrinking.com/episodes. All right. With all the
hour and 20 minutes.
With all the edits and everything else we have to do, there's a range. There's a range we're going to be within. We've reached the time where I get to say.
Say
so.
Okay, Pedal. Let's take one last trip around the table and get some final thoughts before we sashay out the lights. John Ruyak.
2 quick notes. Sprouts, fix your fucking Motspurs. I may stop going there, regardless of whether the fact you let me wear a mask or not, and I do. But shit, if I have to steer that fucker into a wall one more time when I'm there, I'm not coming back. That said, I'm at my desk, and it's a little messy because, well, if I'm not brewing beer, my desk, it's messy. and I was just leafing through old water bills and things, and I got something in the mail. Albuquerque's really hit hard times if they sent me, 56 and a half years old, apply now. Do you need a job? $29 an hour? Take home a car? You can apply online for the Albuquerque Police Department. They're recruiting me to be a police cadet.
Jeff Howard.
Can you imagine?
I was just thinking about this reoccurring theme about like desire and passion, and it's been a while. So Eccles, cut the music. Pour the wine, light the fire. Girl, your wish is my command. I'll submit to your demands. I would do anything. Girl, you need only ask. I'll make love to you like you want me to. And I'll hold you tight. Baby, all through the night, I'll make love to you when you want me to. And I will not let go to you. Like, you know, the more you analyze the lyrics to that song, it's kind of creepy. Bring the music back.
Wow. Folks, join us next week where it looks like we're going to be fucking drinking Boone's Farm.
Boone's Farm.
This is not essential. It's shit like this.
And with that, I'll say thanks again for joining us at the We Like Drinking podcast.
Where you'll never drink alone.
What?
What's that thing that like Pauly Shore used to? I'm the weasel.
Good Lord. What's going on in the chat, Solomon? I know
Oh, they're going crazy. They're singing along.
Jeez.
gotta have thoughts. I know that.
I'm reading things like who doesn't love thick meat? Challenge accepted. What's going on, guys?
Oh,
Stub wrote, "We're all in this together." Hashtag separately.
truth.
I'm surprised. What was Stubbs' other? Was it "Hey 19" by Steely Dan?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But there's a COVID parody song there somewhere. Hey 19. No, we can't stand together. No, we can't talk at all. There you go, Stubber. Thank you.
Oh, dude, Methyl Ethyl Peaky Blinders is so good.
Is it?
I've never watched that show.
It's good.
It's weird. I feel like I have less time to watch TV these days.
Right?
And I think that just depends on like, you know, whether or not you got kids in the house and how old they are and all
my Zoom happy hours.
Well, dude, even like, you know, if I'm at work early and like, you know, I'm not on the clock yet and I got time and everything's graded, it's like I can go on Netflix and watch a show real quick. Like it's kind of weird. And now, like, I don't know about you guys, I find myself sleeping later than normal these days.
Hasn't that been? It's been hard to get out of bed.
Yeah, and then there are some shows that Kara and we like to watch separately of each other. We're just, you know, not into certain shows that other folks like, and so it's like, you know, you have to find that show that you agree on, and there's others that are just on the back burner because I just don't have enough time.
Right.
Yep. We watch Death in Paradise together, Agatha Christie stuff. But if it's baking shows, I'm out. And if I want to watch Ozark, she's out.
Ozark is amazing. I haven't had a chance to start season 3 yet. I got into the first 2 seasons when I had the flu last year. I was like, I'm stuck. I'm just gonna watch Ozark.
Yeah. We only watched the first season. We haven't watched the second or the third season yet.
I'm going into the last episode of the second season.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
All right. Man, that was awesome. Viewers, thank you all so much for joining up. It means a shit ton to us that you guys.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. That's pretty cool.
Thank you, everybody.
And Chelsea, how do we get that beer?
Yeah, like I saw earlier, Chelsea said she would deliver beer to me. I want at least a little bit of you and your husband's beer in there if we set that up. But I will take you up on that. So, all right, viewers, we be out and hope to see you all next week. Cheers, folks. Thank you.
Are we doing an after party?